All right, guys. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, what's going on? I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Um, the strikes on Iran have just started in the last hour or so. But one thing I want to talk about tonight because I've seen something going around on X and I really wanted to look into it because it was kind of concerning. Rumor that's going around on X is that the IDF will be merging with the U.S. Army. So I wanted to look into that and see exactly what the truth was behind this because I know this would be kind of concerning for a lot of people. All right, so all right, so this is what I've got. I've tried to factually put this together as much as I could, and I've got the proposal that that everybody's referring to about this merger. All right, so by merger, someone means one military becoming part of the other. We've not found evidence of that. However, doesn't mean it's not worth discussing. And what this comes from is this proposal right here. The proposal people are talking about is Section 224 of the FY 2027 National Defense Authorization Act, titled the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. So I've got this kind of laid out here, what Section 224 actually does. According to supporters, it will expand joint military research and development, increase cooperation in AI, cybersecurity, missile defense, counter-drone technology, and other advanced defense systems, encourage co-production and joint development of military technologies, create a designated Pentagon official to coordinate U.S.-Israel defense cooperation programs. While some people call it integration. And at this point, I think that a lot of things have happened. I don't think that a lot of Americans would support uh, this anymore. Um, let's go through. While some people call it integration, Chris pointed to language involving joint R&D, co-production of weapons, joint ventures, licensing agreements, integration of Israeli technology into the U.S. defense supply chains. One thing that's worrisome: long-term defense industrial cooperation. Same thing with how much of our shit have we got from China? Like, it's crazy to me. All right, so there's currently no proposal to merge the U.S. Army and IDF into a single military force. However, there is a proposal in the FY 2027 NDAA called Section 224 that would significantly deepen military technology, research, manufacturing, and defense industrial cooperation between the United States and Israel. Whether someone views that as sensible cooperation or excessive integration is where the political debate begins. And I'm working with one monitor here, so let me go back. If you guys, anybody in chat here, I really appreciate you guys coming tonight. And I am not up to date on exactly what's happening with the strikes right now. One of the first things that I did see that I wanted to fact check is I saw news that Israel had struck Natanz and Kraj nuclear sites, and that it's not confirmed yet. At least through the sources that AI is going to use, Reuters, AP, So, however, from what I understand, the strikes have been pretty intense. So let's go over here to
Naomi Russo, Glue Man,
Steve.
Respect, Simp Nasty Scrimp.
See if we can get any kind of information about these new strikes here. Actually, let's go over. Let's see what, just the other day, or excuse me, that was this morning. I made this because last night we also had strikes in Iran. I saw that recently here in the past hour or two, what has been put out by Iran is that they had struck and destroyed a U.S. radar system in Iraq that also struck a U.S. base in Iraq. Now that comes from Iranian state media. All right, so and they hit 3 spots along the Strait of Hormuz that I'm aware of last night. Also, it was the first time that I'm aware of, correct me if I'm wrong, first time that I'm aware of that Iran fired missiles into Jordan. So, really at no point have I can understand why Kuwait, but I guess we have bases in Jordan. Yeah, let's see if I can go back and see some of the yeah, here we go. Perfect. the Iraqi sources was the American Al Harir base in
Planes.
Erbil,
Iran launched.
northern Iraq, was targeted by a missile from Iran. The Iraqi Alam-ul-Lama website also reported that Iran destroyed an American radar in Erbil. All right, so this is apparently these strikes that are ongoing are intense. And there we go. Apparently, ongoing strikes are intense. Let's see if we can get. Let's see if Steve is giving any information about what's going on right now. You guys, I really appreciate you showing up. If you haven't already, please follow, subscribe. I'll be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I keep an eye on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, just like everybody else.
Sydney and all of our other YouTube members, thank you. And you know what I'm going to do real quick? We didn't even. It's been so busy because we came on the air and there was this protest / riot going on.
Yeah. Now, okay, let's go ahead. Is everybody, guys? Feel free to like chat here. I'm trying to keep an eye. Oh God, maybe you somehow. I was all right. Some of you may be in. If so, sorry. I had it on my single chat here. Like I said, I'm working with one monitor tonight. Okay, so the riots, protests / whatever you want to call them in Belfast earlier are obviously coming from the beheading in Ireland, or attempted beheading. From what I understand, he cut the guy's eye out, cut his nose off, and the people I know in Ireland are absolutely just done with this. I don't know how graphic this is. I think this is going to be pretty graphic, and I'm on Twitch and everything right now. Dude, I don't know. So apparently, let's see. All right, yeah, graphic one. Let's go ahead and read it. Just after 10:30 last night on Kinnaird Avenue, North Belfast, a man was slashed and stabbed in a frenzied attack with a suspect on top of him on the ground, repeatedly hacking at his head and neck in what looked like an attempt to cut his head off. Blood everywhere. Hero bystanders dragged the attacker off. The suspect appears to be a foreign national, and he is. I did see that the UK had given him a 5-year visa. Not sure his origin country, but the UK government had given him a 5-year visa. Suspect appears to be a foreign national as he is shouting in a foreign language during the assault. BSNI have one suspect in custody. Victim rushed to a hospital with serious head and neck injuries, as I would assume you would have from an attempted beheading. So, and this just comes off the heels. I mean, and it's obvious that that stoking these racial tensions is on purpose, because, you know, after the Carmelo Anthony verdict, you know, everything you see is going to be, everything they're showing you is just racist, chimp out. They're not showing you sensible black Americans. They're like, yeah, he murdered that guy. So I feel like this. A lot of this racial tension is being stoked, and I mean, it was on purpose when they flooded our country full of third worlders. You know, as Americans, we've been taught our whole life to be tolerant and love everybody, but you can't love those that hate you. All right, let's have we got. Look, let's get.
In north of Belfast, and we had helicopter footage of that. So we were covering that, I think, for over an hour. Then we had to shift to this when this started. So I don't know how long this is going to last. But I haven't even had a chance to do this. So real quick, what I'm going to do right now is, this is a sponsored broadcast. So a quick word from me about our sponsor, Rumble Wallet.
All right, and let's go take a look right now and see what's going on. Okay, KT5, yeah, okay. The Stratotanker. All right, so we got a Stratotanker right here. Coming out of air base near there in Saudi Arabia. So there are obviously ongoing air operations in Iran. We got a Pegasus. So yeah, we've got ongoing strikes. However, from what I saw earlier, there has been no confirmation on striking the 2 nuclear facilities. Looking right here at the strait, we have that strata tanker over here. You know, I don't know if they're just doing like shock, you know, shock journalism here, but I don't know if this we're actually going to get into details here. Let's take a look. I don't know if we're actually going to get any information. Alright. Okay. Let's see what the
Good
conference.
afternoon, everybody. It's
Let's
good
hear
to
what
be here
Pete
at U.S. Central Command. Admiral Cooper, the commander of CENTCOM, was going to be here with me. We just got done with detailed briefings, but of course he is busy because CENTCOM, Central Command, will be busy tonight because President Trump said we will be hitting Iran hard, and we will be because Iran has a chance to make a good deal, a great deal, to codify what they said they've been willing to do, and they haven't been willing to do it. So, as President Trump said, they've been tapping. You can see when someone's trying to tap on a deal. Instead, they're going to have tap bombs dropping on key facilities in Iran from the United States of America. And that's not because we want to restart anything we don't have to restart. It's because the War Department is prepared to set the terms to ensure that we get the kind of deal President Trump expects. And Admiral Cooper and the team here at CENTCOM has done a phenomenal job from the beginning on Epic Fury and through this blockade, ensuring that we have a chance to reach that end state, which is Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, which they say they don't want. And so since we're so close to that negotiated deal, if that's the case, they should step up and do it. There's another thing that was revealed today by the President that the press has not been aware of, but certainly this building, the U.S. Central Command, has known, is that Project Freedom, the idea of running ships through the Strait of Hormuz, it never stopped. It just went underground. And so there's some things the public knows and some things the public doesn't know. But ultimately, we've been protecting commercial shipping going through the Strait of Hormuz, as the President announced, to the tune of over 100 million barrels that have moved through and more in the middle of the night, protected by the United States in a way that Iran can't stop. They can't see it and they can't stop it. So answer me this. If our blockade is ironclad, which it is, we just disabled another tanker attempting to leave just yesterday. Our blockade has stopped almost 140 ships attempting to navigate in or out to Iranian ports. So if our blockade is ironclad, which it is, and we're able to move commercial shipping in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, who controls the Strait of Hormuz? And President Trump said it, and he's right. The United States of America controls the Strait of Hormuz. We're able to bring oil in and out and other things with partners, and have done so now for weeks and weeks in ways the Iranians don't want to acknowledge. That's a powerful reality on the ground. Add that to what the United States military, what Central Command did to their Navy, to their Air Force, to their air defenses, to their power projection capabilities, and we know exactly on this ledger who's on the strong end and who is not, who's had decisive effects and who can't defend. And so from the beginning, we've shown overwhelmingly the kind of capabilities the War Department can bring. This building continues to plan. And so those strikes that'll happen tonight will be strong. They will be clear. If they haven't happened tomorrow night, they will be strong and they will be clear. And throughout, Iran has an opportunity to make a deal. That's the point. President Trump is a deal maker, the best in the world. He's prepared to make that deal. Iran would be wise to take it. Otherwise, they would have to deal with the types of plans that I just had a chance to see inside Central Command. And I'll end with this. I had a chance to thank the thousands of incredible Americans here at the headquarters that represent the tens of thousands out in theater, just the absolute best, dedicated to the success of this mission. Whether it was Epic Fury or the blockade and the ceasefire and the things that have happened underneath it, to give the president all the space he needs to make a great deal. They're enthusiastic about this historic mission. They're enthusiastic about the incredible results that CENTCOM has shown, and the media wants to spin it. They always want to make America look bad. They always want to make the president look bad and make it look like he hasn't accomplished incredible things. What CENTCOM has done here has been historic. And the military objectives that they've achieved have reset the table in this region and set the table for the kind of movement through the Strait of Hormuz based on U.S. control that changes the whole game. We know how much pressure Iran is under. It's clear. We see it. We read about it. We understand it, and so do they. And they would be wise to make only the kind of deal that President Trump would accept, which is a great deal. I'll take a few questions.
Mr. Secretary, 2 questions on Iran. With this latest response from Iran last night, have they not clearly violated the ceasefire? Have you underestimated Iran's military resolve? Like, why do you keep going back to trying to hit the same targets? And furthermore, you just mentioned it.
Who said we were going back to hit the same target?
Haven't you been targeting
Most
the same
of their
missiles?
shots, by the way, missed and were shot down by us. So their efficacy and their ability to actually strike is incredibly diminished. And thankfully so, our air defenders are incredible, and the capabilities we have are incredible.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. One thing that I do, however, doubt is the validity of the story about the rescue of the pilot. And I don't think I'm alone in that. Also, I worry about what this has truly cost our military. And one thing, you know, we're talking about the great things that Trump has accomplished, and one thing that a lot of us really expected out of him. Let's ask. Let's find out right now how many people has Donald Trump deported in this term compared to Joe Biden's presidency. And this is, I want to see this. I don't know the answer to this. I want to know. All right, Trump's second term has roughly seen 600 to 700,000 formal deportations. Removals in the first 12 months, on pace for significantly higher totals than the early periods, but not yet matching Biden's full-term scale in raw deportations, depending on definitions. Official claims and data vary by source. So let's see. Trump's second term, formal deportations. You've got more than 675 by January. Interior, let's see. Over the term, 1.5 million that Biden had removed. So we're running, I mean, just from looking at this data, even though he could surpass Joe Biden, it doesn't look like the mass deportations that we were expecting, even though it was all over the TV, you know, and ICE was in the cities. And I don't know. So, and I want to continue over the next couple of days. I'm going to continue to read through and better understand this Section 224 of the National Defense Authorization Act here. The United States and Israel merger is what a lot of people on X are framing it as, but we just want to get behind the truth of that so we know exactly what's going on. But it does look like a lot of joint R&D and AI. Huh? Did you? Okay. But I'm going to be picking up on this, and I'll normally be on, I normally only go live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I'll probably come on tomorrow night to kind of just take a look at what has happened over the course of these last couple of days with the strikes on Iran, and see the extent of the damage that's been reported on our end, and see if we're any closer to, you know, some type of resolution in this. Although, look, that's kind of for those of you that are here for the first time, that's kind of what my channel is kind of really looking at the severity of the situation that's going on. And I don't think anybody really thinks that things are going to get better. You know, I think that we're seeing, we are at an impasse, civilizationally. We are at an impasse. And there are, you know, this is a spiritual battle. I mean, I do believe that we are on course for the biblical end times. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Sir Isaac Newton spent most of his life, unbeknowingly to most people, researching the biblical Armageddon, to which he tried many ways to figure out the date of such. Well, so using I believe the schematics or just the information of the Temple of Solomon, and set that date at 2060. I think that's interesting when we talk about the ages, and I'll do a show on that, talking about the Battle of Nuremberg, which occurred in 1561. And we talk about these 500-year ages, and I'll tell you why. We'll do a show on that, because I want to take a look deeply at what's known as the Battle of Nuremberg. And for those of you who are still here with me, thank you guys. Hope you're all doing well tonight. And so for those of you who don't know, let's take a look at what the Battle of Nuremberg is. The Battle of Nuremberg was in 1561, and it was an aerial battle. It's known as the 1561 celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg. It'll be easier for me. I'll tell you in the terms that I remember in my stupid hillbilly mind. 1561 Nuremberg, there was a celestial phenomenon that was witnessed by numerous residents who described it as a sky battle in which what they would describe as geometric shapes went to battle, some even flaming and crashed down. And I think that's an interesting scenario, being that some of the phenomenon that we're witnessing today. And it lines up to something interesting, is that date of 2060 that was concocted by Sir Isaac Newton, 500 years directly after this Battle of Nuremberg. And then you get into the ages, the age of, some people believe now that we are in Satan's little season. Some people believe that we are in the falling away. But anyway, I'll put this together. I go off on tangents. I'm bad to do that, but I'll put this together for a show, and we'll take a look at this a little bit deeper. I want to go and look at more sources for this, because there are historical sources of this event. So we'll do that. We'll do that for sure. I'll tell you what, we'll do that Wednesday. We'll talk about the Battle of Nuremberg, these ages, Sir Isaac Newton's doomsday prophecy, and take a look at what has happened in the last couple of days with Iran and the military operations. I really appreciate you guys stopping by tonight. And for those of you who haven't subscribed or following, please do so. I'll be on here live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And like I said, if there's a lot going on, I'll jump online and try to update you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching the Justang Show.